Yes, YouTube, welcome back to the latest video. Today we're going to be taking you along for a little bit of a full day of eating, a day in the life. Sarah's actually gone out already for a run and she's finishing her session in the gym, so I'm actually going to meet her there. Bruno's already had his din-dins, so he's very satisfied right now. And then I'm going to obviously got a bit of a session this morning. So we've got power cleans, lunges, and then a bit of a HYROX workout, and then some back and tricep accessories. So I'm on very much a HYROX block at the moment. So we've got HYROX London coming up. We've got Manchester half marathon, potentially HYROX Cardiff as well. So everything is very, very running based. But what I'm also trying to focus on is getting stronger in those specific stations. That's not necessarily an area of weakness for us right now, but I've just wanted to actually go all in on a HYROX block. I've always been like doing CrossFit, and then I did like the running and maybe like a HYROX conditioning session once per week. And that was how I prepared myself for the race. But I actually wanted to flip that on its head and basically just go all in, right? Because in a previous time, I would be like half CrossFit, half HYROX. I really want to now be like, everything I'm doing is like how I'm going to improve my capabilities for race day. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm like four or 5 weeks in. And then we've got about 5 weeks until HYROX London, probably about like 7, 8 potentially for Cardiff. But let's get the day on the way, and you'll see Sarah in a second. Recording this on the first run because after this I'm obviously going to get tired. We're in a little bit of a HYROX part. 1k runs, the runs are going to increase, and then the exercise reps are staying the same. What I'm trying to focus on at the moment is a lot of leg work under fatigue, so sled pull, sled push and lunges, and basically having to hold the same running paces after each one. As the fatigue settles in, things start to get harder. So yeah, let's go.
So that is my breakfast. It looks pretty sad actually. I normally have blueberries or raspberries or something like that. We don't have any, but I had to be quick. So bagel, banana, peanut butter, best combination if you ask me on a bagel. Might put a bit of honey on there as well. And then an egg as well, might add a bit of ketchup for a bit of flavour. But yeah, I've got a call in like 45 minutes, so I need to be quick. I need to eat this, I need to get into the workspace, I need to get set up for that. Alex is going to come back in, probably going to come back in like the next like half an hour. He'll have his breakfast, he'll show you what he's having, and then he'll take Bruno with us to the workspace, and we're going to stay there for a couple of hours before we come back for lunch. So yeah, we will see you there. Meanwhile, Bruno is living his best life. Look at this. Bruno, are you sunbathing? You've got the best seat in the house, haven't you? He's like, I don't get up for any money, love or money before 9 AM.
Yes, team. So I don't know what that was, but I am back from the gym. So I'm about to make myself a bit of breakfast. What I need to first do is boil the kettle because I am having 2 boiled eggs. That's all I actually need the kettle for, but I thought you needed that really helpful piece of information. So rest of breakfast is going to be 250 grams of yogurt, 25 grams of oats, 25 grams, I'm talking about things and then I'm so far away from actually the thing that I need to get done. Okay, so Greek yogurt. Oh! Greek yogurt almost got squished onto the entire floor. That would have been fantastic. This is a problem when you have a mic and you're trying to do with things with one hand. What else do I need from the fridge? Eggs. Ah, what a day. Okay, so where was I? 25 grams of oats, 25 grams of granola, 15 grams of honey, and then 80 grams of blueberries, 40 grams, of clear whey protein. I know that sounds very precise. I'm not actually necessarily like, say, I'm going to put this here just because I feel I'm not actively like tracking my calories right now. But what I do, just to make sure I'm obviously eating the same actually amount of food, is literally just simply weigh stuff out. I think so many people get so like, oh, it's so much effort to track my food. And it's like, it's really not though, is it? Like, let's be real and let's be honest. If you're eating the right things and you're eating similar things, tracking your food intake is one of the easiest but most effective ways that obviously you can make sure you're eating the right type of foods, you're eating good foods, and you're ultimately like staying on track. Yes, obviously there's ways that just ultimately changing up your food intake for the better, but the way I see it, how was that any different to just pouring it out in the first place? I think I'm about to run out of honey here. I'm not going to have enough. Come on! Come on! Oh. Oh, cool. It's just no much more effort for me to actually just put the scale out there and obviously just zero it every time I need something. A really good trick as well, if say for example you're, I don't know, like using butter or some peanut butter or anything like that, and you're like taking it from the container and you're say like spreading it on something, a really easy tip, I'm just going to put these eggs on for 6 minutes, is to actually then minus. So I'm going to show you like an example of what I mean by this. But basically, say for example, if I was to minus this scale right now, and then imagine this is peanut butter or butter, and I'm going to take it out and see how now the scale minuses. So what that then means is like obviously tracking your food and everything like that. And those things that might be a little bit more difficult to do, i.e. like, as I just said, like butters, peanut butter, those kind of things that you're like spreading on, and you've got that plate like balancing on the scale and you're trying to spread the butter on, and it just gets a little bit messy, right? But what you can do is you can just have that container there ready to rumble. And it just makes your life a whole lot simpler. And a simpler life sometimes is a better life. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions, but sometimes you can make simple decisions. I'm going to smash this breakfast in. It's currently 10:52. I was a bit late coming home from the gym today because a meeting with the owner about some potential exciting development that I can't really say much more than that, to be honest with you. But yeah, so we had a meeting with him, so I'm a little bit later home from the gym than I particularly like. We tend to train like first thing in the morning, to be honest with you, like usually like 6 a.m, but it just depends what kind of session I have for what I need. So obviously today was like a lot of sled work and things that I needed to basically use the downstairs area of the gym. You'll have seen at the end of the video that was the upstairs area. Today as well is a Thursday, so today that I do a lot of like content stuff. Not just why we're filming this YouTube video today, but also just like things on Instagram, creating content. Yeah, and the reason I have 40 grams over, I think the serving is 26, is just to basically load up on protein. There's nothing that can go wrong in your life than having too much protein, right? Protein is like the most satiating macronutrient there is. Also, it's going to give you so much more lasting energy through the day. Like, what's really important you've got to bear in mind is that like if you're having your breakfast, lunch and dinners and you're short of protein, then you're absolutely going to find that you're hungry between those meals. And therefore, when you're hungry, you're going to snack more. And then when you're snacking more, your total calories for the day is more. And when that is the case, you're actually not in the deficit that you think you are, and you're not actually creating a fat loss phase. You obviously, we'll talk so much about food quantity and why it's obviously important to create that fat loss journey that you want, but quality is equally important, right? You've got to make sure you're hitting both targets and both ticks of the box. So that is the breakfast bowl done. We've got 2 minutes, and then the eggs are going to be done. So I'm going to eat this, and I'll catch you up in a short while.
Back from the workspace, Alex actually didn't join me in the end because he had a lot of filming to do. So him and Bruno are still here. You're still here, aren't you, Bruno? Yeah, he's just had his lunch. So we're about to have our lunch. You've already eaten, haven't you? Yeah, you've already eaten. What else would you want from us? What more could you be asking for? A second lunch. A second lunch, probably. We don't normally have meal prep, but we've got some that have been sent to us by a company called Nutrigenic, which is actually really, really helpful because today our Wi-Fi isn't really working properly at home. There's like a upgrade to the system, so we're having to hotspot. Well, Alex is having to hotspot at the moment, which is not ideal. So the plan is we're having a really quick lunch. We're going to take Bruno for a walk, and then we're going to go back to the workspace to the afternoon because, yeah, we just don't know when the Wi-Fi is going to come back on. So it's just not ideal. So these are really helpful because these are just thrown in the microwave, and they're actually really, really good macros. So they've all got the nutritional information on them. I've sent loads of different meals. So this is obviously a chicken tikka. This one's like a beef brisket one. But yeah, they're calories, pretty good protein as well. And they've actually got like a 5-day shelf life, which I think is pretty rare for meal prep. So that's really, really good. So yeah, we're going to eat those, pop them in the microwave, couple of minutes, eat those, and then we're going to take Bruno for a walk. How does that sound? Does that work with you? Fit into your schedule? They're actually pretty good portions, and they have these little separator containers in them, so it keeps the sauce separate from the sides, if you want to call it that. But yeah, really impressed with these. We had these yesterday, and they were actually pretty satisfying, which I find sometimes meal prep can be a bit bland and boring, and you get hungry pretty quick. But they're pretty decent portions. So yeah, we'll put the info for Nutrigenic in the caption. You okay? Bruno's in his favourite workspace.
Your eyes red again, mate. You've got hay fever.
Oh, he's got hay fever. Bless him.
Yes, team. So we're just home now, and Bruno has been fed. He's had his din-dins. I'm just having my, not din-dins actually, I'm just having a snack. This is pretty much a staple every single day, to be honest with you. Protein, my protein crispy wafers, of which Sarah Elfit will get you 10% off. Aren't like normal protein bars at all, so I actually do really like the taste of them. It's like eating a crispy wafer, so they've done well in terms of tapping into that. And then I also have a protein yogurt. And that's pretty much that. I don't know what Sarah's doing in the background there, playing with eggs. You doing juggling? Are you juggling? Go on.
No, I need it.
That's what she said. Haha. That's all I gotta say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So I know Alex has just shown you a snack. I have just made an elite snack, and by the time you watch this video, it'll be on my Instagram. Hot cross buns are my favourite thing at the moment. I'm literally obsessed. I've had them probably like pretty much every day. Went to my friends on Monday night purely just to have hot cross buns.
That seems a bit excessive.
We did it though, didn't we?
You went all the way to your friends on Monday night to have a hot cross bun.
She made us dinner, but we also had hot cross buns as well because we love them so much. But I made a hot cross bun, almost like a bread and butter pudding, but it's a protein macro friendly one. If you want the recipe, you need to go over to my Instagram. But I've topped it with some Greek yogurt and some frozen raspberries. But yeah.
Yes, YouTube. So I just thought I'd let you not into a little secret. Actually, I don't know. I was about to say that, but those of you who do follow me on Instagram might have already actually been in the live, but I've just come off an Instagram live, obviously talking all things around guys in the gym and that obviously are not seeing the results in the mirror, right? And probably from a perspective like you're putting in the work, but that's not actually leading you to an impactful result. To quickly kind of debrief what that looks like. Obviously, it was a 30-minute Instagram live, so I'm not going to talk to you for 30 minutes now. I went through 5 fixes, which obviously, number 1 was that the same training is basically killing your progress and that you need to change that up. Full body, upper, lower body splits is going to be far more effective for you. Number 2 is that you're not obviously fueling right for fat loss and performance. So crushing yourself through the week, eating far too few calories and then absolutely crashing and burning over the weekend only makes logical sense. What you need to focus on instead is smaller calorie deficits that enables you to achieve success over a 7-day period, and always prioritizing protein. As I was saying actually earlier on this video, being such a satiating macronutrient, well, the most one. Number 3 was ultimately how to structure workouts down. So like always thinking warm up, always thinking strength protocol, always thinking from a fitness point of view, and always having like accessory stuff in there as well. And number 4 was tracking the data. So everything from body weight, body circumference, photos, gym videos, gym training, sleep, stress, water, food. So all those things as well, because if you're not tracking the data, then you ultimately can't manage it. And therefore, if you can't manage it, you can't change it. And then the 5th point was all around goal setting. So why it's so important to have a why and have a true purpose of what you're doing something for, and making it tangible. What you don't want to do is just set a goal of like, I want to be fitter. We want to have something that we can actively tick off, and we want to set a time frame to that so that we're accountable to the time frame. And what I then recommend you do is go 30, 60 and 180 day as goal setting. And that's something that you should reevaluate every single month so that it keeps you focused and helps you to move forward. So that's it in a nutshell. Dinner's ready. Bruno, where's mine then? Dobby is free. So what we got?
So, it's really boring. I made this on Monday. It's a red Thai curry meal prep with rice, and then it's supposed to have tender stem broccoli, but we didn't have any, so frozen peas it is. Doesn't really go with curry, but Bruno says if you don't eat it in the next 2 seconds, he's gonna eat it.
Should we share what we're having for pud? He's had his dead to stick. It's 8:10, so we were a little bit late for him, and he absolutely is like clockwork. He knows exactly when you're getting stuff, don't you? What's this? Oh! So I'm going to take you through what we're having for final food side of things. This is something that we'll often have at the end of the day, which is basically a popcorn bowl, but with some added extras. What we find as well is obviously, because it's in a bowl, it then is so much less tempting to go and eat the whole packet of something. So like in here, there's some dolly mixtures, there's some mini eggs, and there's a little whisper. But obviously the popcorn is pretty low calorie, high volume, and then the other stuff is just satisfy that like sweet sugar kind of craving at the end of the day. And like you guys obviously know, the way that we approach nutrition of focusing on obviously good foods that make you feel obviously energized and help you obviously achieve the performance and body that you want, but it's important to combine that with still foods that you really do enjoy the most, and that ultimately it's going to stop crashes and burnings happening. If you completely eliminated this from your life, chances are there's going to come a time in the not so near future where you go and demolish 20 kilos of the stuff and then feel pretty terrible. So having little bits of it is actually going to be the thing that enables you to see long-term success massively. We're going to eat this. I'm going to say, I'm going to land the plane and sign off on this YouTube video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop the video a like. If you've got any questions around training, food, routine, anything like that, drop them in the comments. And I recently looked at the subscribers, and 83% of you aren't subscribed who watch these videos. So make sure you hit that big red button, because we post videos every single Sunday and you will find incredible amounts of value in said videos. I will see you in the next one.